Hi, guys. Good evening. Welcome. This is episode 6. And last episode, we found a S class S exotic, which we're in right now. Let me show you. Here it is. Then we proceeded to upgrading the as many technology slots as we could. We still have a few more to upgrade. So what I want to do now, I'm sorry, I just watched a heartbreaking video and I'm kind of thrown off, so I apologize for that. But hopefully, we'll be well. Um, yeah. So I want to start by going back to base for the first time in a lot of time in a lot of episodes, a lot of hours, and going ahead to craft carbon crystal and rare metal element. So it shouldn't take long to do so. Once we're done with that, we'll be ready to take on take on pirates that will be attacking capital freighters that will let us either purchase or get a capital freighter for free. I'm not sure if I passed a few freighters before, so I don't know if it'll count for the free one, therefore missing it. But either way, we have used the economy crash method, selling wiring loop, to get enough units that we can afford S-class freighter. So we have 600,000 units. I mean 619 million units, half a billion, and it only costs, well, only in quotes, 200 million units. So we'll definitely be able to afford it and still be able to continue our economy crashing method. So what I want to do is go back to base. I want to make sure I have upgraded everything here. Yep. Go back to base, grab those components, and then we'll start warp driving until we encounter a distressed freighter. Once we find one, we will reload to the previous space station, and then we'll start warp driving between space stations. I mean, between star systems, until we find a capital freighter that looks good for us, that we like. Then we will be landing on that um, star system's space station to create an autosave, which will then be we will be able to reload on the same star system and always encounter that same freighter in distress. By reloading, what we're gonna be doing is refreshing the class. We'll be looking for an S class, so it might take a while, but that saving in a space station will allow you to do it as quickly as possible. Alright, so this is not the base that I wanted to, but at least we'll extract our archives. Automatic archive recovery in progress. Data recovered 15%. New data available. I search archives. Entry 4925 question mark follows. My exosuit has directed me to a crashed starship. Controls react to my touch, and I can only assume it belongs to me. No memory of it or a sense of before. Additional data available. Construction logs recovered, blueprint reassembled, and prepared to download. Base technology extracted, downloaded plans. Save point plans restored. Readable archive retrieval complete. Beginning defragmentation of the next segment. I'm not even bothered at this point to sample it. It's gonna solve. So that base that we just teleported to is what I call a perfect copper drill, or a perfect drill. Airless planets will have abundance of mineral resources. What that means is that S-class veins or deposits will be more common. And we actually found an S-class electromagnetic and an S-class mineral deposit. It also has a B-class gas deposit. The mineral is copper and the gas is oxygen. So eventually, once we have those blueprints unlocked, we will come back and establish a base there. But for now, we still don't have what we need to do so. For now, what we're gonna do is arrive at our teleporter here and then try to look for our space. We have a few bases and I'm not sure which one it is. So I want to go to my discoveries, and I know for a fact that it's gonna be the first base we establish. Oh, it's in this current system. Okay, so it's gonna be the other base that has this label, the power gen traders. So these bases I established first are the trade stations. You can look in the guides. There's a video for the best starter base where I teach you the benefits of having an early trade station as a base. But the other reason we still haven't done the one of the reasons is because it's easy to buy the resources you need for your base expansion missions. But we haven't done those yet. We will. But we have used them to create trade routes, which is another video guide available that will show you how to do that effectively. But we did that to earn the first 30 million units needed to buy enough wiring loom to crash the economy. We needed to sell many wiring loom that would make so the demand was so low that they would sell at a discount of 80%. So we could buy as many wiring looms as possible. I want to look at the spaceships, because if there's an S-class, it's worth of scrapping. There's an A, there's a B, so we're good. Alright. Wow, that threw me off. So we're gonna become pirates to gather these. Salvage frigate modules are used to upgrade your capital freighter. Oh, look, we have a warp drive here. I didn't know that. Let me summon the explorer. We need more storage units. Alright. This one has pyrite. Okay. So I'm gonna look on my phone and see the recipe. I'm gonna look up the recipe for... We need... I gotta switch starships now. Bear with me. Here are both of them. carbon crystal, and rare metal element. Alright, let's see. So we could use condensed carbon. Or we could use 50 carbon and 50 condensed carbon. Let's use condensed carbon. Can't wait till we have an upgraded exosuit. I'm getting rid of all the things that are easy to attain. Alright. One second. Alright. A class B. So let's take that condensed carbon. We don't have medium refiners. Actually, we don't need them. Okay, I guess we do need it. Interesting. I couldn't tell when we unlocked this. But okay. We'll need metal plating. I guess not. Condensed carbon. And then some carbon. This annoying, the formula pinning. Rare metal element. Alright, so for the rare metal element, what you will need is magnetized ferrite. We need more than that. And oxygen. Okay, we're low on condensed carbon. So let's drop another refiner. That pinning, the pinning of the formula. Let's see if there's an option to disable that while we look while this works. Because I just created it. Why do you want me? Why would you pin the formula? Let's get some pure ferrite. Let's see, general options. But I want to change to Fahrenheit. Auto torch. They have an auto torch, but they don't have a way to out the pin. General options. No. Video options. Where are the audio options? I want to also shut out the computer. It's annoying having her just yell at me all day long. We need one more carbon crystal. Man, is she annoying. I'll take a bit. What? Who's there? Oh my god. Man, they gotta get on top of this game. It's full of bugs and it's freaking 4 years old. here. Let me get this back. Alright, we're done. No more. That'll do for now. Alright, let's switch to the other ship because it's the one we're gonna use for warp driving. I'm gonna stop in the space station and sell these wiring looms. I'm gonna get some migraine medicine. I feel it coming. It's this light. But otherwise you would just only see a black screen of darkness. We have already maxed out those. So I'm gonna sell them here and leave them here because I think the economy is still gonna be crashed. Hopefully the inventory will stay the same. Well, let's sell the wiring loom. We don't need to sell it. We don't need inventory space. Let's drop as much of it in our high capacity. All right, here we go. So, I know for a fact that I want to find a Viking crew. When you teleport, when you pick a capital freighter, the crew members will be from the same species as you, um, as the star system has. So if you travel to a Viking star system, it'll have a Viking crew. One second, let me get the migrant medicine while we teleport. Alright guys, this is way better. I think I'm gonna be streaming with a cap from now on. Although you cannot see my eyes, but that's the whole point because this light gives me a migraine. So I'll keep the I'll keep this up. Plus, the cap pushes outwards the headset, making it so the eyeglass legs do not push into my skull and it starts to hurt. So I apologize if you cannot see my eyes, but I I can last a lot more time like this. It's a Rick and Morty hat too, so that excuses everything, right? It's a planet with blue grass, no water. Oh, it's a fungal exotic. Ooh. Okay, so when you're looking for a freighter, a capital freighter, you want to be landing on each space station. You never know when the next distress freighter is going to come along, so you want to be able to have an autosave just before you arrive at a distress freighter. That will make it so the next warp drive will always be a distress freighter. And so you'll be able to scan the nearby star systems and tell which is the freighter that you want, the type of freighter that you want. Let me check. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I muted myself to adjust the headset, otherwise it gets too loud while I'm playing with the headset, you know. Here we go. We're gonna also take advantage and upgrade our exosuit. I wanna do technology. At this point, we have plenty of high cargo. The technology will let me start upgrading my exosuit. And I want all the hazard protections. You only need one of each. So you don't need to get 3 toxic protections, for example. Get one of each type. And you're good. Okay, that looks good. What else? Let's check the weapon. Ooh. Experimental. Let's see the scanner. Our scanner is better. So we won't take it. So small weapons like that, and pistols, will have better scanner capabilities, while rifles will have better damage output. So that's why I compared it to the scanner range. But ours, even though it's a rifle, our scanner is still better. So we're stopping at every station that we can because we want to create an autosave so that when that distress freighter shows up, we can reload just before. Here's another. I'm also going to be teleporting to Viking systems so that we make sure that the crew is a Viking. I don't like Gex and I don't like Korvax. The only ones that I can stand by are the Viking. If you want to know why, just ask me, but otherwise I'll assume you don't want any spoilers. Again, sorry for the hat blocking my eyes, but I started getting a migraine and the light makes it way worse. So I appreciate your patience and your understanding. But hopefully today we'll find a really cool Dreadnought freighter. I love the Dreadnought, that's my favorite. So no distress freighter. I still look at the planets, you know, you never know. These are wealthy economies. You might find an Earth-like planet and you don't want to pass one up just because you're looking for a freighter. So just take an eye. We're gonna take advantage that we landed on a brand new space station and we're gonna upgrade our exosuit, then check for any upgrades before we leave again. But it'll only take maximum 5 warp drives. We've already done 2. So it should take less than 3 more warp drives to encounter our first distress freighter. Alright, that doesn't look good at all. Let's see the starship. We're looking for photon cannon. Photon cannon upgrades. Come on, look at the Irish. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna keep upgrading technology because I am also gonna want to buy hazard suits or life supports. Let's see. Shield module. Ah, perfect. Thermal. I'll leave the shield for later. We're not gonna be battling anything. So I want to save some nanites available for um let's put it anywhere. Save it here. I want to leave some nanites for the starship upgrades. We might find an S-class, so that would be worth scrapping. So let's take a quick scan. Nothing, so I'm gonna create an autosave so that we don't have to go through that process and then warp again. We're getting close. Oh, look at that. If you see something that you like, you can use the camera, it'll freeze time and you can check on the starship. So I kind of like this hauler, although it looks like a large hauler, but it's actually a medium-sized one. I can tell by the wings the large hauler has propellers, so this is not it. Let's just keep warping. We're gonna warp to lifeform habitat system, so we can use the lifeform filter, and therefore we don't have to scan uninhabited planets like these. All right, let's see. Here's another one. And this is good because even though we're not finding a distress freighter, eventually before we settle on one capital freighter we want, we're gonna scan the star systems nearby to see which type of capital freighter they offer. So marking the Viking wealthy economies by visiting them is gonna help us later just pick and until we figure out exactly which freighter we want. Okay, no distress signal. 2 planets, one planet, 2 moons. Okay, we're not gonna check the moons. I like planets with water, and moons cannot have water. Yeah. So we're gonna go through the process again. Upgrade the exosuit, get upgrades, check the multi-tool, and then head out. We could be crashing the economy. We have wiring loom to do so, but I don't want to spend too much time on this because otherwise I'll just stay there. And then I'm gonna see a starship I want to scrap, and we're never gonna find a capital freighter. So let's just dedicate to capital freighter. Okay, so we have toxic, radiation, we have cold. I think cold is for both heat and cold. So it's a thermal protection. That's really good. You don't have to have 2 of them. Ah, let's see if they have a photon cannon. So I think we have all our exos hazard protections now. You only need 1 of them. It has a phase beam, so we don't need that. You only need 1 of the hazard protections. Oh, pretty nice. Starship. I'm gonna check. Yep, heat generator. Thermal protection, so yes, it counts for both heat and cold environments. And that's all the hazards. So how the hazards work, it's like a shield. They'll No, we don't need to up fill. They'll deplete as slowly when you're in a hazardous planet, and once they run out and deplete, then they will start consuming the next your actual hazard protection. So you can refill it with one battery and just keep going. Having multiple of them uh, would make you last longer, but I think just replenishing is good enough. Okay, let's look at only Viking systems. So these are the red ones. Looking for wealthy economies. There's plenty of them, so we'll find. Here we are. This one has 5 planets. Distress. We're getting close to a distress freighter, and after that, I think it's gonna be way more fun looking at all the potential freighters that are available in the star system. So before I did a before I started hunting for the freighter, I wanted to have an explorer ship with enough warp drive that it would make it efficient. I didn't want to be um, refilling the hyperdrive constantly, or also be limited to only the star system within a short amount of radius. I wanted to have enough distance to be able to explore and actually have a wide range of freighters available. So that's why we went and upgraded our starships before. And we also upgraded an exotic starship, which is gonna serve as our fighter starship. They pretty much have the same stats as a fighter. They might have a slightly lower damage, but they might have even better shields and maneuverability than the fighters. So now, once we find that encounter, we'll switch to our exotic because this explorer does not have the capabilities of taking out the pirates quickly enough. No starship, no planet that seems interesting here. So again, we're gonna create an autosave just in case the next encounter is the distress one. But yeah, every warp drive we get close to a distress freighter. It's funny because earlier we were finding distress freighters and I wasn't looking for them, and now that I'm looking for them, I find none. But it's a matter of timing. Okay, it counts. It's not like every star system has the capability of spawning a distress freighter, and the type of freighter or the appearance of the freighter is gonna be always the same. Let's see if they have another life support. So once you find the freighter you want, you can refresh, you can reload, and it'll always be the same freighter. Interesting. Why do they have 2 then? Okay, I guess no. Look, in the last row, it says drastically improve survival times in high temperature. This one is in sub-zero environments. Okay. Underwater thermal. We don't have one of those. And let's get the heat one as well. So it looks like those are not proximity boosted, but the thermal should be, yes. Mm. Alright, let's leave it like that. Let's check the weapon, if they have a photon cannon, and also the multi-tool. I don't want to pass an experimental multi-tool S-class. Yay, photon cannon. We'll install it once we summon our exotic. That's not what we want. We already have an experimental, but it's an A class. So if we find an S class, it will be a big upgrade there. Right? Oh, let me create one save file. I don't want to have to do that process again. All right. Now we're discovering a lot of wealthy Viking systems. It's a good thing. We'll then, oh, look, and we found another 5 planets. We've already found a perfect fungal planet. It has blue atmosphere, blue water, and green grass. It also has slime-ish creatures, which are passive uh, creatures. They don't attack us, so it's pretty chill. And we also found a perfect lush planet, although it has storms, not extreme ones, but it has storms, and it also has sentinels, aggressive sentinels. So it's not perfect, but it does have blue atmosphere, blue water, green grass. So take a look, because I was just trying to upgrade my exosuit. Look, you see, I could have easily passed, and here we have another. This one has purple atmosphere, looks like green grass and green water. I'm not gonna check it because we can already see it's not perfect, and it's a fungal world. We already have a perfect fungal world, so no point in having two. That's a lush with red grass and yellow oceans. And you probably already know how much I dread yellow atmospheres and yellow oceans. It's just not right. Just not right. You imagine if the Earth had yellow atmosphere? Like I think we would never have arrived at civilization, because we would have gone crazy before. Just everything yellow, 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 yellow. The yellow hue. I would it would drive me crazy. Blue is beautiful. A blue ocean, and I don't know, makes me grateful that our atmosphere is blue. I don't know if that's even possible. Is the blue color due to the composition of gases in our atmosphere? Okay, I think we can upgrade a shield. So I'm gonna get the shield. Let's see. Multi-tool. Nope. Oh, don't take off. Can you imagine the spaceship takes off while I'm on top in its roof, and I'm stranded in space. Let's create a save file. I think the next one has to be a distress freighter. It's been more than 5. Alright. It'll happen. And once it does, it'll be a constant. Every single time we warp drive, we'll see a distress freighter. No matter what star system we warp into, as long as it's habited. There's one there, but we need indium drive. Here we are. 3 planets. Crossing fingers, distress freighter. Wow. Freighters. There's a lush moon over there with green grass. Nothing, nothing. Let's land again. It's ironic. It's just the way it is. When you're looking for something, you never find it. And you don't look, and there it is. This is all we can do. At least we're making the most of it, and we're benefiting from every warp drive. We get to upgrade our our exosuit. Check a multi-tool, get a chance of a multi-tool, and of upgrades, starship upgrades as well. So I'm not. I think we can afford one more row of upgrades there. Not good. But I'm not sure. Maybe it's only 2 rows of technology. I cannot remember. Phase beam photon cannon. Nice. I think we have maxed out our photon cannon at this point. We probably only need one more starship shield, and our exotic fighter is gonna be maxed. Let me check if there's any S class. You never know. Nope. Okay, let's go. Wait a save point. Alright. At least we are pretty much discovering every wealthy economy that we can. Okay, that's a Gek, so I'm not gonna travel there because we're not gonna buy a Gek. They're gonna be spying on us. They're gonna no. I don't like some say keep your friends close but your enemies closer. But I don't know. I only trust my dog. That's all I trust. And even she sometimes acts up. Gets all spoiled on me and starts misbehaving. But that's because she's not afraid of me. She knows she can get away with much. That's a good thing. Move this stress freighter. Am I doing something wrong? I think it's just teleport. Let me try one thing. I'm gonna reload. Reloading on a space station is really efficient because you only have to render this cabin, so it takes very little time. Versus if you render in a planet, I mean, if you reload on a planet, you have to render the entire environment. Ah, that's the max. At this point, we only have cargo to upgrade. Let's check here. Yay, first movement module we find. Let's see if we find a starship shield that will max out. Phase beam, cyclotron, photon cannon. Nope, let's keep going. Let's see, S-class anywhere? Nope. A, pretty close. Point. Come on. Let Sky favor us with one freighter. One distress freighter. We're on the spot right now. We're live. Don't make us look bad. Let's start making our way back towards this. We haven't wandered far away from our hub over here, but I don't want to get too far because once we find the distress freighter, we will be limited to only the stars that are within range from the one um, from the star system we were before the encounter. Okay, no, nothing. I could just teleport back to one of these that I have already found, but I would rather just keep marking 3-star Viking systems. So let's take a bit of time and find the right star system economy. Should be plenty. There it is. One more. One planet. One second. Sorry, the little knob on top of the cap was like being pushed by the headset arc, so it started to hurt. I cannot see what the planet is, so I'm scanning it. It's a hot planet, nothing special. It's one, so wow, no distress freighter. I thought it was 5 every 5 warps. Someone left a comment mentioning that it's like, hey, I'm warp driving it all around and I cannot find a distress freighter. I don't know how they fixed it. I told them, oh, it should be every 5, but it's happening to me as well. Let's reload. Let's reload and try to fix this. Maybe the game glitched. It's odd because sometimes the freighter is annoying. Every 5 warps, we were getting a distress freighter. And since you're in combat, it doesn't let you warp drive out. What do we need? Anything, life support or jetpack. Yep, not any of those. Starship shield. Photon cannon, hyperdrive, positron. Nope. E-class. Okay, I'm gonna create a save and reload. Yeah, man. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. I'm gonna Google why this reloads if I can find the answer. Okay, here we are. I'll keep looking while we teleport, while we warp. So it was quick, but if I were to reload on a planet, it would take like 3 times as long. So just a tip for when you're doing your hunt, you'll see that we'll be reloading often to get an S-class because even in a wealthy economy, an S-class is only a 2% chance of appearing. Therefore, very rarely we'll find one right away. Here's another Viking 3-star. It's like no one has had this problem before. The closest question was how to find a crash freighter twice in a row. I don't know why you would want to find it. My God, there's no freighters. This is the weirdest I'm very grateful, you know, and oh well. Game letting us down. There's so many bugs to this game. It reminds me of Ark Survival Evolved. They keep releasing new content, but they don't address the bugs that they have, and they actually introduce even more bugs. Let's try teleporting to a system that we've already discovered. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter because once you find a distress freighter, any star system that you travel to is gonna have a distress freighter. No freighter. Alright, now I'm annoyed. It cannot be this region of space. Our game is broken. Here's another new one. Ooh, interesting. It has one planet with 2 moons. It might be Nern. I'm looking for a planet that is like the Elder Scrolls planet. It's an Earth-like planet with 2 moons. Pretty close. It's a fungal, but it has blue water and green atmosphere. Alright, I'm done. What I'm going to do is teleport to a totally different region of space. I'm tired of searching in this region. If I knew what caused us to never encounter a freighter, I would be happy. I would make a YouTube video because sometimes distress freighters are actually annoying. They show up every 5 times you warp, and sometimes you're just trying to get to places. When you don't want them, you see them everywhere. Let's get jetpack. Starship shield. Maybe you think maybe is that our starship doesn't have enough power, and the game is like, oh, your explorer is gonna take a beating, so we're not even gonna help show up a freighter for you. I'm gonna switch. Our other starship has plenty of warp drive capability, so it should have enough distance, and it should also have enough fuel efficiency to make it worth it. Let's land on any planet. I want to leave as many wiring loom as I can on this one, on this spaceship.
No free slots in ship inventory.
Alright, let's call her exotic. Now I want to move these resources because we're gonna use them for creating more warp cells or refueling our pulse drive and our launch thrusters. That's why I took the time to move them from one starship to the other. There we go. Let me just move this like this. We need one more photon cannon. Oh yeah, we got them all. We'll arrange that proper later. I'm gonna save.
Technology recharge.
Let's check. Maybe that's it. Here's another. having trouble finding a distress freighter. We've warp drive a few times and none has shown up, but hopefully one shows up soon. As soon as it does, every time we warp drive after that, we'll find another distress freighter. So we will be able to pick a capital freighter that we like among the stars nearby, and then try to get that one as an S-class. Just created a save point. It's odd. Look how many times we've warped. At least we've marked all the Viking 3-star economies nearby. Once we do find our distress freighter, we'll just jump between the ones we've already discovered, seeing what kind of freighters they have available for us to buy. Hopefully we haven't spent our free freighter. I don't know, because we've encountered distress freighters before and I passed them up. I haven't destroyed the pirates, and I think that's the trick. If you don't kill the pirates, it doesn't count as a freighter available for free. No freighter. Alright, that does it. That does it. I have given up on this region of space. We have other regions of space that we have discovered, because earlier we were warp driving to upgrade our exosuit and get a bunch of nanites. So we headed towards the galactic center and we traveled around 20,000 light years, so pretty far away from where we are right now. We just teleported back to the beginning. I'm gonna travel there, and I need to look at my discoveries to see exactly which of the teleporter it is. Okay, yes. So we found one planet that's an Earth-like planet here. New Akkad in Nalbe Daken. That's what the star system is called. So the space station should have the same name. Nalken Daken. Nalbe Daken. Here it is. This will catapult us 20,000 light years closer to the galactic center. Hopefully, if we start jumping in this area, we'll find a distress freighter. I don't understand why we have warp drive so many times and still have not found one. Just to give you a train of reference, it's been an hour and 20 minutes and no freighter, so we warp drive a few dozen of times. Nalbe Daken. Let's create that save point, just so that we don't have to teleport twice in case we encounter a freighter next. So I'll show you here, like planet 2. Why not, right? Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty there, right there. Alright, so hopefully this planet brings us luck. We're gonna be teleporting to Viking systems, because the star system's species of alien will influence the crew of the capital freighter. So if you want a crew of Viking, then teleport into Viking star systems. Every time we warp, we want to also create a save point in the space station, so that we're able to backtrack to a point before we encounter the distress freighter. That'll make it so any star system around that we warp to will have a distress freighter. Scorched planet. So let's land on the space station and keep warping. But yeah, I hope you're having a good day. Feel free to ask questions. Let me know. We can use more starship shields. 2 of them specifically. And 1 more pulse drive. That'll make it so 3 and 3. 2 more shields, 1 pulse drive. Let's see if we find it. At least we're making some profit out of this, you know, we're using this. Let's get the shield.
Product received.
Life support.
Product received.
Yeah, we're already burning our units, I mean our nanites. Shield. We already have cannon, hyperdrive, and all those. Check the multi-tool. Could be an experimental, you never know. Let's go. Before we warp drive, I want to create another save point so I don't have to go through the process of buying those upgrades. So we use our life form filter to look for Viking systems and also filter out all the uninhabited ones. So even if you don't care about which crew is in your capital freighter, you can use this to avoid scanning uninhabited systems, right? I think we found one here. Yep, we did. 3 planets. Let's see. It's ironic. When you are looking for a capital freighter, you don't encounter the distressed one. Then they're not looking and they're just spamming you and not letting you warp drive because of being in combat, right? So hopefully we find a distressed freighter soon. But it's getting pretty annoying. Well, looks like might be an Earth-like planet over there. Look how many times we've warp drive. Discoverer, journey milestone, 75 times. This is a nice system. That looks like a perfect planet. If it's scorched, oh no, it's a lush planet with brown grass. Yeah, not bad. Oh wow, blue planets all around. Oh, that's the one we scanned already. We already have a perfect fungal planet, so no point in having to. Red grass, red ocean, we're gonna avoid it. Oh, here's another one. Scorched. I don't think it has water though. No, doesn't have water. It could. Where's the space station? Something's wrong with my save file. I don't know why I cannot encounter a distressed freighter. Any of you know what would cause us to not find a freighter? We did so much preparation for it. We got our fighter upgraded so it was easy to take on the pirates. And now nothing. It's disappointing. I appreciate your patience, guys, because I understand this is getting pretty boring. Like, we're here to find a freighter and the game is just reluctant to show us one. I'm frustrated with you. Alright, we can use one pulse engine.
Product received.
Now we're left with only 2 more starship shields and we maxed out our exotic. We already got this. Let's check the weapon. Let's get out of here. Alright, if I don't get a freighter in the next jump, I'm gonna turn off the game, like quit the game, and reload entirely. Because it may be something wrong with the game, some bug. We've warp drive more than 20 times now. So you can understand my frustration, I bet. It's ironic, sometimes the distress freighters are even annoying. They'll show up when you don't want them and then they don't let you get out because or use your pulse engine because you're in combat. And now when we want one, game says, haha. Nothing. Okay. A warp drive. I'm gonna pulse engine. Let's see if we can summon a regular freighter, not a one not in distress. If you're flying around, they should show up. There's something seriously wrong. There's no option that should affect that. Alright, there we go. We have at least freighters, regular freighters spawning in. Game doesn't want to give us a distress freighter, we're gonna create one for ourselves.
Hostile scan detected.
Oh, now you decide to work, right? Sorry, I'm taking it out on the on these freighters. Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy right now. This game is broken right now on us. Go into a space station. You can also destroy the space station. You cannot destroy it, but attacking it will make it so the sentinels attack you. 1 second, the headset is hurting. Alright. So we took a bit of our frustration out on the on the game, on the freighters. We got plenty of supplies there. Alright, so So I want to create another save point. Let it finish. Okay. There's something seriously wrong with that save file. It should let us. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Let us find distressed freighters. If I even knew what causes this to happen, I could make a video and say, because after you find your own freighter, you don't need to find any more distressed freighters. They actually become annoying. So if I knew what caused it, I think there are too many bugs. I hope some update bug fixes come along the way, because there are quite a bit. Alright. Look at that. Ain't that a bug? We're in the ground. That's what I want to see next. Bug fixes. Don't throw me more new content if you're just gonna introduce even more bugs. Let's look for a Viking 3-star economy. Here we are. Ooh, it has a planet with 2 moons. One second. Alright, sorry for that. The hat was starting to ache, and I'm sorry for that. I'm wearing a hat right now, but I was getting a migraine, which also explains why I'm in a not the best mood. I apologize for that too. But the hat blocks the light, which makes the migraine worse. Okay, let's start counting. 1 warp drive. Do you think it has to do with the missions? I'm not even gonna go for upgrades. I want a capital freighter right now. So we're scanning. Here we are on another one. 3 planets. Any star system can have a distress freighter. It's not like we're in a sector of space that has no distress freighters. There's something wrong. Hopefully reloading the game helped. Two warp drives. I'm not even checking for planets. No Mara, it's not playtime. You can get pets. Come here. It's okay. Yes, I love you too. You're a good girl. Let's create a save file. A save point. Okay, this is gonna be our third warp drive. They should be every 3. Someone else run into this problem. I have a video on how to find a perfect freighter, and they commented that they couldn't find any freighters, that they had warp drive 30 times and they couldn't find a freighter. I just googled as well to see if anyone had run into this problem and found a solution. No one has. There wasn't even a question for it. I don't know what's causing this at all. I'm very grateful for your patience because this is not what we expect at all. So this is the third jump. Since we restarted the game. You're such a cool girl. Four, come on, fourth one. Should be every 5. Should be every 5. So if the reload works, we'll find out next warp drive. If it doesn't have a freighter, I'm gonna run around. I'm gonna buy any freighter that I find, a non-distress one, and then we're gonna start again. Hopefully that resets. Maybe there's a distress freighter that's glitched in a previous star system. I remember there was one and I just went into a space station, so maybe that one is still like active or something. I don't know what could be. I'm just trying to think of anything. And maybe buying one freighter. Fix that. We've run through so much fuel. Good thing we upgraded the warp drive, because imagine having to refuel every 3 warp drives. This one has 5 planets, but we're not gonna look for planets. blue water, blue atmosphere. It's a tropical planet with extreme weather. Just like Puerto Rico. That's a fungal planet. Looks like it has yellow atmosphere though. So this is 5 and nothing. Let's summon a regular freighter now. If you just shoot, there it is. Which one is the one to buy? It'll have an icon. There it is. We're gonna buy it no matter what it is. 1 second. Streaming is painful right now. It's either the migraines from the light or the headset pushing in and on the eyeglasses or the hat. I want to get a microphone, but I can get rid of this headset. That's my first That's gonna be my first purchase. But this is all I have for now. It should also improve the audio. What kind of freighter it is? It's a B class, 10 million units, not bad. Problem is, buying these freighters, you never know the design of the freighter until they show up. It takes a long time. That's a weird nose. Never seen that nose before. Exchange. I don't have any freighter with me. Why would it say exchange? Alright, we did it. We've got a freighter. We completed the video. No. I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna settle for this. We're just trying to fix the glitch. Oh, now you show a distress freighter. Now you show a distress freighter. No, it's the same icon as a distress freighter.
Hostile scan detected.
Come on. This game made me look bad. 2 hours. No distress freighter. You're a cute puppy. Yes, you are. Get it. Okay, Mara, it's not playtime, baby. Alright. Let's keep warp driving between Viking Star systems. Oh man, I'm not happy. I've never seen a dreadnought freighter appear among those that show up, the non-distress freighters. So if we're limited only to small freighters like these, it's not gonna be good. And we've already spent so much time upgrading Starship, restarting the game. Mara, it's not playtime. You gotta take no for an answer. It's almost midnight. And you wanna play now? We played already twice today. Played in the morning, played in the evening. Took you for 2 long walks. I took migraine medicine, but I'm still. This has just thrown me so off. I was getting the migraine before I even noticed that there was a bug going on. I think I know why. Maybe it's not a bug. No, it's gotta be. It is a bug. It is a bug. Oh my god. Refreshing the game did nothing. I'm gonna stop warp driving. No matter how many times we warp drive, we're not gonna find anything. This game is broken. I'm gonna reply to the guy that ran into the same problem like I did. Tell him not, you know, I ran into the same thing and yeah, there's no solution. Freaking broken after upgrading so much, spending so many hours. The one thing we've had in common, we've been exclusively warp driving to Viking systems. Let's change the species. How are we with the Gek? We're a bit more... okay. Okay, the standing with the Korvax is the highest. Let's start traveling to Korvax star systems. Let's see if this affects anything. Maybe the developers on a recent update changed the requirements and it's not just 5 warps. You also have to have a certain standing before they call for help. But it's weird because they've been calling for help before. I'm gonna rename the video. Tony gets frustrated after 40 warp drives and no freaking distress freighter. 1. No, I'm gonna stop to save. I wanna figure this out. Korvax. If standing is what's affecting this. If standing is what it's affecting it. And we'll figure it. We should encounter one with a Korvax. Because we've already encountered distress freighters before. It just suddenly happened. No, no freighters. Alright, if it doesn't show up after 5 Korvax jumps, this is the second one. I'm gonna quit for the night and do a bit of research. See what's wrong with this game. I'm also gonna raise a ticket so that they address it in our next update. Because I think now my game is broken. If I don't have a way to fix this, I have no way of encountering distress freighters, meaning that I can never find a dreadnought or an imperial freighter. I'm stuck with those little small ones that show up for without any attacks randomly. And it's also very difficult to farm an S-Class 1 by reloading, doing that because they show up randomly. It's not like I can reload and guarantee finding it. That's 3. I just want to find it anywhere. I'm not even looking for web pieces. They should have learned what this game before this, it's full of bugs. It has bugs everywhere. And the reason this game failed at launch in its early stages was because of its bugs. So if you just repeating your same errors like someone who's not learning from history, doomed to repeat its own mistakes. This is the fourth jump. Maybe even the fifth. I think I lost count. I want to create one save point. Hopefully it's the next one. Yeah, wait. It's making me feel like this game is broken. I want to start a brand new game now. Something went wrong in the programming of this game and now it's glitched. It's perpetually glitched. Yep, I'm renaming this video. The only thing that's interesting about this video is my rant. I'm frustrated at this game's programming. We've warp drive no less than 40 times tonight, and we haven't encountered a single distress freighter. We have changed regions. We traveled 20,000 light years. Nothing. We've tried everything. We tried switching the species with a new species with better standing, and nothing. We were hunting for Viking, and I said like, well, my standing with Viking is low, so I don't think that's it. Maybe, but let's try it. Let's switch the species. Nothing we can do. We even bought a random freighter that shows up. The small ones, you'll see. They show up, you just gotta pulse drive, wait a bit. They should render in. The problem is, it's very difficult to farm for a S-class freighter like this. And also it takes so much time just to figure out what kind of freighter it is. Look, they don't show up. There's no way to tell when they will show up. And I've never seen a large dreadnought show up unless it's in distress. Only the distressed ones show up as dreadnoughts or imperial destroyers, like star destroyers. Yep. Wow, so many hours spent looking for the right starship, upgrading, farming all the nanites, farming all the units in order to upgrade it so that when we fought our freighter, we could take on the pirates. And the game said, haha, no capital freighter for you.
Hostile scan detected.
Bring it. Let's see what happens. Let's just spend a bit of time in space. See if suddenly anything, a random encounter occurs.
Hostile ships approaching.
Because warp driving is not the only way to summon a distress freighter. They can also happen randomly as you're pulse driving, warp driving, but they're very rare that way. Alright, let's see, let's just warp, pulse drive, teleport, and see until once anything, random encounter occurs. Let's try warp driving again. Let's go to one of the biking systems we've already discovered. Well, it's a Corvax, who cares? Let's go. I just want to see a distress freighter. But I swear, I feel like erasing this save file entirely and starting fresh again. But I would lose quite a bit of hours of playtime. I was thinking maybe the active mission affects anything. We bought a random freighter. We're gonna start doing missions. That's it. I quit this save file. Blow it up to bits. It's broken. It's broken. There's a glitch. I pray you never encounter it yourself, because it'll blow up the save file. You won't be able to buy a capital or encounter a distress freighter ever again. I don't know how to fix it. I'll leave it in case, but I'll start it. I'm not gonna start it. I'm gonna stop the stream here because I want to do some research before I actually decide whether to start a brand new game or not. I want to see how many people have encountered this issue and if anyone found a way to fix it. Then I'll get back to you guys. Hopefully make a video. I'll make a YouTube video on this if there's not a one already, so that anyone that encounters this issue doesn't have to go through the same thing again. I appreciate your patience, guys. I know I lost mine. I'll rename this video Tony loses his Tony gets frustrated after 40 jumps and no freighter. And at least maybe that will be funny for some people and entertaining. But I appreciate your patience and thank you for sticking by and showing your support. So I'll see you on the next one. I don't expect you to like, subscribe, or share because of this. It's not. I couldn't deliver. So